Think good win here, and eventually we will like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Help promote and rank up my channel. I haven't been as active as I usually am, but I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, and today's my fiance's birthday. So, anyways, I wanted to talk about something that kind of caught me off guard, and it may catch other people off guard too if they've been really looking forward to Black Widow based off the trailers, and because Avengers Endgame. What happened there, and it really is a final send-off for these original characters. It is a damn shame that Captain Marvel got a movie before Black Widow. It's distasteful, despicable. This character obviously should have had a movie first. For obvious reasons, and for obvious reasons, it does lessen the impact that this movie would have had and could have had. Had this movie come out like before Avengers Endgame, it probably would have been more appropriate and had people more interested in it. But I've still maintained an interest in it, but it's not like an extreme or heightened interest because what happened in Endgame to this particular character. So I mean, for me, this is kind of to finally tie that bow on Avengers, on the MCU, on the Marvel Cinematic movies, because frankly, I'm not that interested in their version of Spider-Man. I do think they do a good job with the villains, but as far as Spider-Man himself goes and the tones of Spider-Man, the settings and all that, it just feels all very un-Spider-Man, like, in my opinion. With that said, though, something to worry about with Black Widow. Black Widow reflects the Me Too movement, says Scarlett Johansson. And this is like one of the most tone-deaf statements I've ever heard, because the Me Too movement turned into witch hunt, and a lot of the people, leading the charge turned out to be as bad or as worse, or worse than the people they accused. The Me Too movement was full of hypocrites that just wanted to strike down people of power and play the victim. And I mean, there are some people involved in it with credible stories and stuff like that, but there are a lot of famous people involved with it that completely undermine everything the Me Too movement stands for. And so I don't understand why she would come out now and be like it reflects the Me Too movement when that movement left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. It has really dwindled over the course of its witch hunt, and a lot of the people involved, like I said, turned out to be complete hypocrites. So why you would say something like this now? It's only going to scare people away from the film. But of course, and all the maybe she was coached or whatever to respond like this. Maybe she was coached to, because it's Disney. Disney PR is really, really woke. Now the films, not so much, but the promotional stuff surrounding their films, Jesus Christ. So, Scarlett Johansson says the long-awaited Black Widow solo movie reflects the Time's Up movement and confirms that Black Widow is a feminist. Reflects the Me Too movement, Marvel's long-awaited solo film and the time's up for the Me Too movement. Let's just say that. I've never heard of it, and again, I'm not as familiar with this stuff as everybody else. When all this woke stuff was going on, I was dealing with a lot of serious stuff. In California, being homeless and all kinds of other stuff. It's just constant chaos, a restless, constant chaos. Everything I was dealing with in California is just a cesspool. That place, littered with needles and trash and poop everywhere, and homeless people, tent cities, homeless people just taking a shit right in front of traffic, taking kids to school, and uh, just that place is hell. That place is hell. Everything's all expensive as hell. Like, rent wise, everything's all expensive as hell, and it's not even worth it. But, anyways, supposedly this movie is supposed to reflect the Me Too movement and all that. Now, in what way? This is a pretty vague statement, so I'll see if there's something that really clarifies what she has to say. It's finally hitting theaters in November after its original release date back in May was delayed due to the pandemic and all that crap. Its current release date, which means fans will get to and coming out saying this type of stuff, it's going to turn people off from wanting to see the movie altogether. Some people are going to go there regardless, but let's just see if there's anything in here that really explains what she means. It goes on to tell some of the details about the movie. Johnson says there's so much more. Johansson, I don't know why I said Johnson, says there's so much more to Black Widow. So in an interview with Empire, Johansson discusses the feminist themes in Black Widow and how it reflects the Me Too movement. I think this film in particular is very much a reflective of what's going on in regards to the Time's Up movement and the Me Too movement. I'm not familiar with it being the Time's Up movement. I'm not familiar with the Me Too movement, though. Yes. So it would be such a miss if we didn't address that stuff, if this film didn't take that head on. Would it? Do you have to take on reality? In what manner are you going to take on this reality? Are you going to show? In what way is it supposed to reflect the Me Too movement? And are you going to show the hypocrisy? Is that what you're talking about? It's going to show the hypocrisy in the Me Too movement, or is it just man bad, woman good? Because none of those movies have worked out. None of those movies with that kind of attitude, that kind of theme, none of them have worked out. So, talks about it was so important for her to make a movie about women who are helping other women, who lift other women up out of a very difficult situation. So someone asked if Natasha was a feminist. Of course she is. It's obvious. So it's obvious that if she is a feminist, then it's much more of a traditional type of feminist that she can go out there and do stuff that she's not looking to shame men at every point and constantly remind everybody that she's a woman every second. Unless this movie's going to take a different direction where it's just that man bad, woman good type of thing. But to say that it was so important to make a movie for women who are helping other women, well, the Me Too movement had a lot of backstabbers in it. A lot of people turned on each other in that movement. So, and a lot of women used other women for their own agenda. So the Me Too movement, just bringing that up, saying that type of stuff, it's not a good look, and it can really hurt your film. It can really hurt how many people are actually going to come see it. It can turn a lot of people off. So 2020 is a big year for female-led superheroes. Why is it always got to be so focused on the fact that they're a woman? Why is it always got to just, I mean, how many articles and stuff have you seen that always go on with it's a male-led superhero movie? No, they don't do that. So why always go on about it's a female-led? You want to break like the glass or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the glass ceiling or whatever. So stop constantly reminding people that it's female-led. Stop using that as a talking point. Stop using that as an approaching point. Just, it's really cool superhero film. This character has a long-standing history in the MCU, and it's long overdue that they get their film, and it's going to be great for people to finally see them in the lead for this film. That's their own solo adventure. Just talk like that. It doesn't even have to be relevant that she's a woman. Of course, people know she's a woman without having to say it, but always going with that approach, that talking point. Oh, female led this, female led that. So it doesn't really say if it's going to get overtly political and in your face. She just talks about how it was so important for Kate to make her movie a movie about women helping other women, and it's not exactly that either. Or the trailer, paints it as family. It's family helping each other out. Of course, there is this female assassins that have been brainwashed or trained to be this and used. But hopefully it's not just like, it's the guy's a bad guy. The organization, they're bad. They're bad. That's it. And it's not the fact that it's a man, and, using women, taking advantage of women or whatever. Hopefully that doesn't become some kind of in-your-face narrative throughout the film where it's just like, oh, you're just sick. You just like to take advantage of women or whatever. Anyways, there's a risk here in what she's saying. It could just be talking points or whatever. It may not actually get very in your face with all this Me Too crap. It may just be, her saying, we got this woman doing this movie, and it's women trying to help these other women escape this kind of brainwashing. And there's a lot of things. When she says it reflects the Me Too movement or whatever, maybe she's actually saying, it reflects how that movement was brainwashing women to weaponize their gender against men and just try to take down men of power and play the victim and all that when they're really not. And there's a lot of hypocrites and all that. There are tons of ways to take this argument. I mean, there are tons of ways to take this statement. That being said, though, Marvel typically leans in woke direction when it's, promotional stuff and interviews surrounding the film. So, hopefully she's just doing that crap that they do where they don't really back it up in their movies. They don't really double down on it in their films. It's like that gay kiss or the not the gay kiss, that was Star Wars. The gay character that just drops out a line, oh, my husband or whatever, in that one scene with Captain America in Endgame. There's Disney hyped the hell out of that, how they had, gay characterization or whatever in their film, and it turned out to be a blink and you'll miss it moment. Disney likes to do that. They like to really hype this stuff up, and I believe they would absolutely coach their team, their stars, to do that. So, let me know what you think of this. Do you think Black Widow is going to get in your face woke, kicking the junk out? Men bad, woman good, woman innocent, woman pure, woman not at fault for nothing, and men just absolutely garbage trash bags. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts of it. Are you still interested in seeing this movie after she's talking like that? Or do you think it's just PR, BS, the usual type stuff they do? Stay awesome, rock on.